Can you feel the tension behind your ribs right now? You've been the relentless caretaker, dousing every crisis at home while your body screamed in whispers. You've saved everyone else except yourself. Today, I promise to guide you through a fierce yet tender ritual of return. We'll open your voice and honor your truth by stimulating lung 5. We'll release what no longer needs to be held in your body with large intestine 4. You'll sip Schisandra berry tea, nature's gift to relieve chronic fatigue and stress, restoring your innate healing ability, untethered from the noise. We'll light a white candle together, inviting sacred clarity and focused intention. Then we'll step through the 5 sacred gates: remembrance, devotion, precision, permission, and sacred sight, each unlocked by its healing solfeggio tone, tuning your energy back to your deepest wisdom. Ready your breath, still your mind, and trust that every tone and touch will guide you home to the healer within. Do you ever sense a quiet pulse deep in your bones, calling you towards something bigger than symptom relief? You aren't here to fix yourself. You are here to remember that the healer has always lived within you. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Healer, a sacred container where we dive past quick tips and surface-level solutions. I'm Marci Lubore, your guide and fellow traveler, inviting you to step into a lineage of wise women who have always healed from the inside out. Here, we don't chase healing, we uncover it. Each week, we'll anchor into ritual, breathing into points that ancient practitioners revered, call in allies from the therapeutic oils to earthy herbs that speak directly to your cells, and decode the whispers, the emotional remembrances hiding in your body's terrain. You already carry this knowing: one breath, one point, one ritual at a time. When you learn an acupressure point, teach one. As you awaken your own inner healer, you awaken thousands more. Together, we're not just changing habits, we're shifting the very energy of our lineage, one healed heart at a time. This series is for educational and ritual purposes only. Always honor your unique path and consult a healthcare provider as needed. Let's begin. Make the time, create the space, heal yourself. Welcome back, beautiful souls, to episode 30 of Natural Healing at Your Fingertips. Self-healing ritual, remember your body's whisper. In a moment, we'll step into a story that began with a phantom itch, an invitation from my own lung meridian to speak my truth. But first, settle in, ground your feet, and soften your shoulders. Inhale deeply, and exhale any doubt. Now, let us begin unfolding the whisper that changed everything. You may feel like you're just beginning, but already you've touched the fracture point. Soon, we will walk through the sacred art of becoming whole, not by hiding your cracks, but by honoring them in gold. Ceremony is the thread that weaves every piece of your healing journey into a tapestry of transformation. From the moment you pause to remember your wholeness with remembrance, to the precise activation of intention and focus through precision, to granting yourself unconditional release and grace with permission, to opening your inner vision to what lies beneath using sacred sight, and finally to offering devotion as an act of reverence. Each ritual step calls you back to the truth you already carry. When we gather these invocations and practices together, we aren't adding new tools. We're igniting the spark that has always lived within your collective spirit. Your body hears you. As you stand at the threshold of episode 30 self-healing ritual, remember your body's whisper. Know that this is more than an ending. It's an invitation to ongoing communion. Let this collective ritual remind you that every acupressure touch, every breath, every vibration, every oil, and every herb is a sacred conduit. When you honor each element in unity, you anchor the lesson that healing is not fragmented. It is whole, it is cyclical, and it belongs to all of us. Make the time, create the space, heal yourself. Find a comfortable seat or stand tall, whatever allows you to feel rooted in your body. I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and place a hand over your heart if it's safe to do so right now. And when you're ready, breathe in the memory of every whisper your body has ever offered you. And exhale into the knowing that you already carry all the wisdom you need. Today we begin with remembrance, calling back each signal, each subtle nudge to the sacred table of your awareness. I remember the day the phantom itch first danced across my forearm, just above my elbow. No rash, no bite, nothing for my eyes to see, just a whisper. At the time, I didn't realize my body was speaking a language I had yet to learn. That itch wasn't random, it was a signal. My lung meridian was quietly urging me to speak my truth, to stop saying yes when my soul meant no, to ask for help. But like many of us, I was bone tired, running on adrenaline, so I pushed through. I had things to do, kids to take care of, a household to run. At that time, my son John was healing from a MRSA infection in his muscles and bones that nearly killed him. My focus was on him, on survival, not on my body's subtle cries for attention. Do you relate? Have you ever been so bone tired and running on adrenaline that your own whispers went unheard? And now, as we cradle the echoes of that first whisper, let us sink into the frequency of remembrance at 639 Hz. Allow the tones to wash over you, tuning you back into every message your body has ever sent. And still, I was tending to horses twice a day, not out of obligation, but because I love them. I had made a commitment, and I didn't know how to say, not today, not like this. So I kept showing up, loving them, brushing them, feeding them, while abandoning my own inner signals. In that devotion as ceremony, I offered my care outward, even as my own vessel was begging, pick me, pick me. Having honored your commitment, your devotion to those you love, invite in the vibration of devotion as ceremony at 528 Hz. Let its soft pulse consecrate this moment with love. I invite you to turn your devotion inward and listen to your body with love. I tried to dismiss the whisper. I reached for creams, not because they silenced the itch, but because I hoped they would. I used hot packs for the belly pain that pulsed with something I wasn't ready to feel. And I kept my mind busy, not because I was fine, but because I didn't know how to face what was begging for my attention. But the symptoms didn't go away. They got louder. Deep in my belly, the large intestine meridian was holding something even older. Unspoken grief, maybe from this lifetime, maybe from many. When the whispers turned into screams, when the gut pain tightened and the itch became unbearable, I still didn't listen until my body delivered the only message I would finally obey. Surgery. That was the rupture. But it also became my remembering. Now that we've witnessed how easy it was to miss the details, let's amplify our precision with 741 Hz, the frequency of transformation and clarity. Feel each note sharpen your intention to listen to your body's whispers and gently ask, what are you trying to tell me? Really listen in. If only I had pressed large intestine 4 at the web of my thumb and whispered, I release what no longer serves me. If only I had held lung 5 and breathed, I speak my truth. In that simple squeeze and that sacred breath, I could have given myself permission to untangle the grief and the boundaries starved of my attention and lay them down. Instead, it took a rupture to wake me. But we awaken whenever we choose to say yes to the pain, yes to the healing, yes to ourselves. Have you experienced a time when you did not give yourself permission to heal? Notice how it felt in your body just now. With boundaries untangled and grief laid down, we step into permission at 396 Hz. Allow this gentle resonance to cradle you in the safety of saying yes to the pain, to the healing, to yourself. I once stood outside the barn, staring at a 200-foot garden hose so twisted and tangled, it couldn't carry a drop of water until I untangled it. The teenage girls at the barn had not rolled the hose correctly, and I felt a surge of rage, my soul needle, letting me know that this injustice stirred something deep inside. I knew not to blame them for rushing their duties, though my body trembled with that righteous anger. And in that moment, I saw my own emotional life, knotted, looped, and wrapped around itself in quiet chaos. No flow, no breath, just pressure building in places I couldn't see, until I slowed down, softened, and began to listen. That hose became my mirror and my medicine. Can you feel that final flare of outrage urging you to stop and listen? This is exactly what happened in my large intestine as it shut down, as if to say, I cannot help you any longer. You've got to help yourself. Deal with your emotions that have been swept under the rug for decades. That very day, when I came home from the barn, my body screamed to me in a way I could no longer bear. The unusual hot pack was not enough. It was the day I went to the hospital to untangle my own garden hose, my emotions, and prepare for surgery. The damage was done. I waited too long. I had to return home to my inner healer. And in that space of reverent inquiry, the soul speaks and whispers. If you listen in deeply, you become the healer you were always meant to be. And finally, as our vision clears, let us rest in sacred sight at 963 Hz. Let this frequency open you to the subtle whispers of your soul, guiding you to see the medicine hiding in plain sight. Today we honor two sacred gateways, Lung 5, abbreviated as LU5, also known as Cubit Marsh, where the metal element's cutting-edge clarity meets the breath of your soul, and Large Intestine 4, abbreviated as LI4, also known as Joining Valley, where release becomes the catalyst for renewal. Lung 5 energetically clears stagnation in the lung meridian, inviting you to speak your truth and expand your boundary, while Large Intestine 4 dissolves blockages in chi flow, granting you permission to let go of what no longer serves. By working these 2 points in tandem, we create a powerful dialogue of voice and release, transforming gentle whispers into embodied knowing and making space for healing to flow unimpeded. I invite you to drop into these sacred healing tools with me. I will cue the points. All you really need to do is simply follow my cues. To locate Lung 5 and begin to speak your truth. To find Lung 5, flip your left arm over with your palm facing up. Using your right index finger, trace along the outside edge of your thumb and your arm all the way up to the elbow crease. Good. Now bend your arm. You are on Lung 5. It is just above the head of the radius bone in your arm, where it meets at the elbow joint. You may find a tender spot, and sometimes it's felt literally as you bend your arm. It's as though you're right at the bottom of your upper arm, but it really is the upper part of that elbow crease. This is Lung 5. It literally sits in the hollow at the edge of the biceps tendon. Now stimulate Lung 5 using your index finger, or switch to your thumb and wrap your other fingers gently around the back of your arm and press gently with a degree of pressure that feels soothing to you. Activate this energy using a small circular motion or a gentle push-pull motion up slightly towards your shoulder and back down towards your wrist crease, and side to side, pressing toward the edge of your arm and back towards your body. Breathe in for 4 counts, imagining a golden light filling your chest, and exhale for 6 counts, affirming, I speak my truth. I will give you a few moments to drop into the point and hear what words you have been silently suppressing. If you have elbow pain, it may be a signal that you are suppressing what you dare to speak. Use your voice. Speak your truth. Continue stimulating in this motion for another 10 seconds, feeling your voice find space and clearing out any resistance in your lung meridian. Your lungs not only draw life force into your body, they're responsible for what you express into the world. We inhale life force energy and we exhale toxins. Suppressed words become toxic to our well-being. Now switch sides and repeat this on the right arm for another 30 seconds or so. Do this in the exact same location, in the exact same manner, on the elbow crease, on the thumb side of your arm, in that hollow at the edge of your biceps tendon. I'll give you a moment to get set up and to sink into the point. Use small circular motions and a push-pull motion to stimulate the energy to shift. Continue your deep breathing. Inhale for a count of 4. And exhale for a count of 6, affirming, my voice desires to be heard. I will express what I have to say with ease and grace. Dare to speak your truth, even if it's in deaf ears. Continue activating lung 5, cubit marsh, for another 5 to 10 seconds. From here, simply slide your thumb back down your arm to your thumb, and we will locate large intestine 4, the joining valley, together. I'd love to share this acupressure technique that I find grounding during stressful times, and maybe it will shift your energy and you'll feel it too. This is a go-to self-acupressure point. It's like a release valve, allowing tension to ease and emotions to flow down and out. And here's the analogy. As you stand tall, think of your head as a mountain peak of your body, and you are drawing energy down the mountain to flow freely in the valley below. It helps you get out of your head and releases energy down your arm and out through your hand. This acupressure point is located between the thumb and your index finger on both hands, and it's a wonderful point to use when you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and especially emotionally charged. However, if you're pregnant, large intestine 4 acupressure point is not a good point for you. It has a strong downward pull of chi, or life force energy, and is avoided in all the trimesters of pregnancy to minimize risk of miscarriage or inducing early labor. So wait until your beautiful baby arrives, and then you can stimulate large intestine 4 too. For now, simply follow along and locate the point with your hands. Let's take a moment to try this point together. All you really need to do is follow my cues. To find the large intestine 4 point, make a fist with your right hand and look at your hand. Now press down on the bulge of muscle right between your thumb and your index finger that pops up when you make the fist. Good. Now try gently applying pressure into large intestine 4 with your thumb on top of your hand, and release your fist and put your fingertips underneath the point on your palm, so you're sandwiching this energy in between the point of your thumb and your fingers. Now stimulate the point in small circular motions to facilitate the energy flow. Focus on your breathing. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. And then exhale slowly out through your mouth, making a shh sound. Do this for a few breaths. Feel the release. As you press, soften your shoulders and allow your face to relax. Surrender into the permission you're granting yourself. As you continue pressing on this point, focus on releasing any stress, worry, or emotional tension that you may be holding, and simply let it drift away. Inhale fully and exhale fully, whispering, I release what no longer serves me. Notice how you feel. This point helps you to clear your mind and draw energy down from your head and out through your hand. It's very powerful. Continue stimulating joining valley for 5 or 10 more seconds while rocking the point between your fingers slightly side to side. And now switch hands and do this in the exact same spot in the exact same manner on the left hand for about another 30 seconds. I'll give you a moment to make the fist and locate the bulge muscle. Find the point and sink into it. Notice any sensations. You may be feeling tingling underneath large intestine 4 after you stimulate these points. Energy is something you cannot see until you see the results of it. When energy shifts, you feel it. What shift do you feel in your body? Even relaxing your shoulders or a simple sigh is the shift in your body. Close the energy by sweeping your hand from lung 5 at your elbow crease, brushing down your arm across large intestine 4 into your fingertips 3 times on each arm. Gently reach up and slide your fingertips down like you're taking off a rubber glove and just let the energy roll off your fingers. Honor this healing ritual by breathing deeply for a few long breaths and allow yourself to release what no longer serves you. Just as I had to let go of my own unprocessed stress during my healing journey. I want you to remember, simply stimulate large intestine 4 on either hand anytime you feel an emotional burden. And as we're bilateral beings and have energy running through both arms, it's best to stimulate large intestine 4 on both hands. Even 1 minute of pressing this point can create a powerful shift in your mind and body, which is really important for your organ systems, especially your voice. This small, mindful self-care practice is a powerful reminder of the natural healing tools we have right at our fingertips. Make the time, create the space, heal yourself. If you are a visual learner, be sure to save the PDF rituals for lung 5 and large intestine 4. The link will be in the show notes. Today I feel the desire to call in the nurturing power of Schisandra berry tea, revered in traditional Chinese medicine for its ability to support endurance and nourish the kidney and the large intestine meridians, and it grounds us in resilience. In Ayurvedic traditions, Schisandra satisfies all 6 flavors the body requires to stimulate health: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, and astringent, bringing deep balance. This blush-toned brew also supports adrenal fatigue from burnout or chronic stress, offering gentle restoration exactly when we need it the most. It is my favorite tea, and I have been using it for months. I brew my tea, I put some warm honey, and when it's cool, I pour it into a glass jar and fill the rest of it up with clean water, and I use that to add to my water bottles. So daily, I am nourishing my adrenal glands, and it has made a big difference in the way I feel more vibrancy. Every time you sip Schisandra, affirm, each sip deepens my release. Each aroma guides my body back to flow. Allow the warmth of this blush-hued tea to dissolve any remaining tension, inviting lineage's grief to soften and rise to the surface for gentle letting go. You have gone from caretaker to healer. Along our Awaken Your Inner Healer, the 5 Frequencies of Healing Miniseries, episodes 25 to 30. It's a masterful arc, from grounding in kidney 1 to trusting your body's whisper at lung 5 and large intestine 4. Each episode invites you off the frantic hamster wheel and into sacred ceremony. Through embodied storytelling, the phantom itch, the 10-foot hose, the MRSA scare, these aren't just anecdotes. They're living transmissions, modeling vulnerability so you feel seen in your own hidden ache. And by reorganizing around the 5 frequencies, remembrance through sacred sight, you step into a predictable ritual container that builds trust and anticipation every time. This journey meets you exactly where you hurt. You've carried overwhelm, burnout, ancestral grief, the good girl reflex, and the fear of rage. Episode 25 anchored you in remembrance at kidney 1 and liver 3 on your foot. Episode 26 consecrated devotion through pericardium 6 on your inner wrist. Episode 27 sharpened precision at spleen 1 along the side of your big toe. Episode 28 delivered radical permission via heart 7 on the outer edge of your wrist. Episode 29 opened your inner vision and sacred sight at yin tong, the point in between your eyebrows. Episode 30, Trust Your Body's Whisper, anchors you back at lung 5 and large intestine 4 in sovereign flow. Along the way, you've anchored 5 core frequencies: 639 hertz, 528 hertz, 741 hertz, 396 hertz, and 963 hertz through breath and press acupressure rituals. You've stoked your nervous system with frankincense and lavender and sandalwood, each essential oil chosen to ground truth, cool tension, and cradle your heart. I've invited you to sip tulsi and chamomile teas to nourish endurance and soothe your spirit. These tools live on in your pocket-sized ritual cards, tiny anchors reminding you healing is cumulative, not a one-time event. As you weave these rituals into daily life, you dissolve ancestral blockages and plant fresh patterns of resilience in your lineage. You're not merely interrupting trauma loops, you're gifting future generations a living blueprint of well-being encoded in every cell. Energy shapes matter, and when you shift your inner landscape into a loving, healing field, that new energy ripples out, transforming your family, your children, your partner, and your friends. Even if you don't birth a child, you're birthing liberation itself, an energy so palpable it carries forward in the generations yet to come. This series was soul care, not just self-care. Carry these practices close. May each frequency vibrate in your cells, each acupressure press ripple through your nervous system, each essential oil's aroma linger on your skin, and each sip of tea warm your spirit, rewriting your lineage story, one breath, one point, one sacred ritual at a time. You are not here to chase healing. You are here to devote every breath, every touch, every sip to your own return. I encourage you to practice this deep healing truth ritual. Light a white candle to symbolize illumination. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Reflect on one area where you've hidden your voice. Sit still and allow the memory to rise. Press lung 5 on the inner aspect of your wrist crease and whisper your truth aloud. Yes, say it out loud. And then shift to large intestine 4, the joining valley in between your thumb and your index finger, and exhale, release into the flame. Visualize grief dissolving into light and warmth. Close your eyes and absorb the transformation. You step forward as your own sovereign healer. Make time and create space for this deep healing ritual. Clear and dissolve whatever rises as the next layer. Peel it all back and come home to yourself, unburdened and vital. When you're ready to continue your healing journey with me, it doesn't end here, it deepens. Join me next for the Soul Contract at Healing Miniseries, a journey through energetic distortions and ancestral truths, where we'll uncover the hidden energetic imprints passed through generations that show up in your life, like the belief your mother carried, now living in you. Expect to learn how to identify and release deep-seated soul agreements that keep you stuck. Work with your powerful body-centered practices to realign distorted energy patterns and embrace ancestral wisdom that has been longing to surface. In each episode, we'll weave together potent rituals, heart-anchoring breathwork, meridian-based energy releases, and guided ancestral dialogue, so you can step into the freedom that lies beyond the inherited burdens. Keep your mind and your heart open. Your transformation is calling. If you haven't yet received your sacred gift, grab Shift from Stress to Bliss in 60 Seconds, a free audio and PDF guide walking you home through pericardium sticks on your wrist. The link's in the show notes. Be sure to subscribe to Natural Healing at Your Fingertips if you aren't already for more soul-led rituals and to be notified as this new miniseries is released. It would mean so much if you would take the time to review or rate this podcast. And if you feel called, leave me a 5-star review, especially if this episode stirred your devotion. It truly opens the door for others to see me and to step into healing ceremony with us. Please share this with someone you love. The world needs more devoted caretakers and women willing to come back to themselves, who are remembering one breath, one point, one sacred ritual at a time. What frequency resonated most for you? Leave me a comment or text me. The link is at the top of the show notes. Remember, you are not too much. You are not behind. You are not here to learn healing. You are healing, one sacred ritual at a time. Until next time, keep listening, keep healing, and keep loving the healer within you. With your permission, I'll guide you deeper into the sacred realm of unhealed grief, suppression, and trauma. Have you ever felt a pattern you didn't consciously choose, holding you back, and wondered what your ancestors carried that now lives in you? That's my healing touch for today. With love and gratitude, thank you for tuning into this episode. It's because of you that I keep shining my light through my voice and my hands. I'm thrilled to be your guide on this journey to holistic wellness. Before you go, remember to hit the follow button so you never miss an episode, and be sure to follow my blog for visuals of all the acupressure PDFs to enhance your learning. I'm Marci Lubore, and I'll meet you here next time on Natural Healing at Your Fingertips.